Alright, so we're going to do a quick mini review of everything we know about fractions from our lessons in class. A fraction is a number that is written in 3 parts. In order to write or read a fraction, we have to know what each of those parts do. A fraction has a top number, a fraction bar, and a bottom number. So I have a T for top number, B for bottom number, and there's an actual fraction bar. Each part of this fraction tells us something different. The bottom number in a fraction is very important, and we cannot read a fraction or calculate any adding or subtracting of fractions without paying attention to the bottom number in a fraction. Now, the bottom number in a fraction tells what kind of fraction it is, and when we read the bottom number in a fraction, we read that number by the fraction name. So here I have a fraction. The bottom number is 5, and so I read the fraction name fifths. Here, the bottom number of this fraction is 4, and so I read the fraction name fourths. Here, the bottom number is 3, and so I read the fraction name thirds. Here, the bottom number is 2, and so I read the fraction name halves. The bottom number is 9, and so these are, your turn to say it, these are ninths. The bottom number is 8. The bottom number is 8, and so these are eighths. The bottom number is 7, and so these are sevenths. Okay? Now, the bottom number of a fraction, it does have a technical name. Okay? The name of that bottom number is a denominator. All right? Now, denominator, when we look at each of the parts in that word, we see that denominator means from where the name is taken. And so, starting out in 4th grade, you guys do not speak much Latin. This is a Latin phrase that means from where the name is taken. The bottom part of a fraction is where you take the name of the fraction from. And so this is a denominator. D means from where. Nom means the name. And innator is just kind of a combining form that means like that's where it's taken from. And so in Latin they're saying the bottom number is from where the name of that fraction is taken. And so since you guys speak English, and Miss Ali just teaches you in plain English, I want you to know that the role or the purpose of the bottom number is that it's the part from where the name is taken. All right? And that's why we use the bottom number to read the fraction name. So, knowing the type of fraction and knowing how to read and understand what kind of fraction you're looking at is important because it helps us understand which problems can be solved in one step and which problems require more work. So far in 4th grade, you have learned to solve fraction problems that can be solved in one step, such as adding and subtracting fractions. So here I have sevenths minus sevenths. Can I subtract sevenths from sevenths? Yes, I can, and so I could do this problem in one step. Just like if I had bananas and bananas, I can subtract bananas from bananas. I cannot subtract bananas from lotion. Remember, if you have the same type of thing, if those units match, then you can add or subtract. If they don't match, you cannot add or subtract. If our fraction types match, if those bottom numbers match, we can add or subtract those fractions in one step. I have some number of sevenths, and I want to subtract another amount of sevenths. I can do that in one step. Here, I have 80ths. 80ths, my bottom number is 80, and so these are 80ths. And here my bottom number is 18, and so these are 18ths. I have 80ths and 18ths. These are not the same type of fraction, and so I cannot I cannot solve this problem in just one step. Here, I have ninths. My bottom number is 9, and so these are ninths. And here, my bottom number is 19, so these are 19ths. So I have ninths minus 19ths. Are these the same type of fraction? Ninths, 19ths. No, they are not. I cannot solve this problem in just one step. Here, my bottom number is 3, and my bottom number is 3. So these are thirds and thirds. Can I add thirds to thirds? Yep, I sure can. And so I can solve this problem in just one step. Here, I'm subtracting, and my bottom numbers are 7. So I have sevenths minus sevenths. I can solve this in just one step. So that is the key to deciding on whether or not you can add or subtract those fractions in just one step. And you do know how to solve those problems.